we're doing 3 Airbnb audits of people that submitted their info. So I made this post. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I made this Facebook post maybe a week ago. If you're not following me, follow me on all the socials about here's a reservation, $800 a night, couple grand. But I wanted to essentially give back. I talked to 2 people this past week, just complimentary, just wanted to jump on a phone and give back. So for the people that wanted an audit and they weren't the first to respond. I'm just going to do it here for the entire group. Hopefully, everybody can get value here. We're going to be doing Hope's property. Hope, if you're watching, appreciate you jumping on. We are doing Mike's property here in Asheville. Love the Asheville market, by the way, and then this Albrightsville property as well. Once again, I know this market very, very well. Got a couple clients there. All right, so let's get rocking and rolling. Let me make sure we drop your questions below. I will answer the questions at the end. If it's something specific to this listing, I might pop it up and just knock it out as we kind of rock and roll. So without further ado, we are in no particular order. We are going to do Hope's first. This is everybody should be able to see this. Looks like it's pretty good. So this cabin in Banner Elk, I'm in Charlotte, so love the mountain markets. But this cabin right here is, it looks like a new listing. I'm just going to go through it. I've prepped a couple points on all 3 of these listings, and I'll just kind of explain what I look for from like a listing optimization standpoint. We do this for all of our clients. If you want more info, just shoot me a DM. We did this for all of our clients. I just posted a video. We did this for a client. It was in 2024 when they hired us. They did this is a lakefront property that we took on, not this specific one that I'm sharing, but we had a revenue management client that we did this exact thing. We audited the listing, we optimized it, we set up the pricing, we literally did everything. The only thing that changed at the property was we got new photos. Literally nothing else had changed at the property. So we took that property it did 38 grand in 2023. We did $112,000. Same property. The only thing that has changed was the listing optimization, new photos, and the dynamic pricing that we optimized. We went from 38 grand to 112 grand. It was like 193% increase year over year. And we're off to the races this year as well, heading into peak season. So without further ado, I say all that to say, like, I know what I'm doing. I don't know everything. I'm always learning. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm talking to other hosts. I know a lot and I want to get back, but I am not expert guru by any means. All right. So this Banner Elk cabin, usually I'll just kind of go top to bottom and call out a couple things that immediately kind of catch my eye. So here, a lot of brown. This is a traditional cabin in North Carolina. A couple very quick things. Bookings are restricted. So I know what this is from, but I'm going to kind of explain. With new hosts and new accounts and new properties, you have an option to only take experienced guests. So this host is only accepting 3 guests with 3 or more trips on Airbnb for their first reservation. And once you get the first 3 reservations, they kind of open it up. It's kind of like you got your training wheels on. You're kicking along. They're not spewing you out to all the potential bad guests. They want to make the first couple experiences good, and they try to pair new host with experienced guest for that reason. So this right here, we have done this. One of our revenue management clients just actually had the same thing. So I see the value. I think it can potentially hurt you not getting bookings because you are too strict. Now, this is just personal preference. I would probably remove that. I do understand what they're trying to do and what Hope is potentially doing here. But I like to hit the ground running, man. I like to get, as soon as we get listed, get those first 3 to 5 bookings, get those first 2 to 3 reviews, and then you're kind of off to the races and adjusting from there. So just very quickly here, that's one thing that I might change. Once again, these are just suggestions, things that I've seen, and I won't speak on anything that I don't have personal experience about. So usually, I mean, we've hosted, I don't know, probably 5,000 reservations, done like, $5 million. We do about 2 million a year. So I've seen a lot. So this comes from like experience and things that I have screwed up on a lot of times that I don't want you guys to screw up with. So a couple things here. So that one's that. Could you do 12 guests? So this is one thing that property sleeps 10 guests right now, 4 bedrooms, but we've got 6 beds and 3.5 baths. If this was like a 2.5 bath, I would not say increase the occupancy potentially, but we have that unlock where it's 3.5 baths. Like you could potentially get a couple more people in there under that assumption. Now, one thing that I know a lot of hosts struggle with is like, but I don't want to like jam people in there, right? The kind of the combo effect that we've done when we have clients like that and we have properties like that is like up it to 12 guests, but add an extra guest fee from like 10 to 12. So where you're charging $50 a guest over that 10 to kind of offset that potential risk. Because with higher guests, yes, it is more risk, more potential damage. It's just more kind of wear and tear because there's more people using the property. Makes sense. But we always, I come at it as from an angle of like increasing revenue. More guests, more heads and beds, more revenue, right? You obviously you want to protect the asset, but you also want to earn. When so many hosts right now are just losing money every single month, only breaking even, and just only getting the weekends booked. So I would potentially add 12 guests, add an extra guest fee there. Reviews. This is probably the lowest hanging fruit here. This ties into kind of with point 1 with the reserve function, but getting reviews. We do not have any reviews. I don't know how long this property has been live. Hope if you're on this, drop how long this property has been live. I'm assuming it has not been live for more than maybe a week. We do look like we have this weekend booked. We do have a good first 12 days of June booked, and then kind of scattered out through here. So that's great. But we need reviews quick, like now, like yesterday. I talk about it a decent amount. I could probably do like a whole video on this specific one, but the review momentum is a real thing. There is no articles or research out there, but I feel it every time we launch a new property. It's like, as soon as the property is live, if we can get reviews like quick, it's so weird. It's like when we get a review, we almost always get that place booked that same day. And also with responding to reviews, whenever we have a review published and we respond to it, it's almost always we get a reservation for that same property that same day. It's like the algorithm's like rewarding you for doing the things that they want you to do. So this one, get reviews as quickly as possible, even if it's like a cheaper stay. So like this place, let's say, let me clear date. So if we got, honestly, if we've got this Friday, a separate point, but if we've got this Friday and Saturday booked, I would probably make this stretch right here a 1-night minimum. The chances of you getting like a Tuesday to Thursday 2-night minimum, probably not going to happen, especially since we are, almost 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks here. I bet the booking window is probably 21 days, maybe. I would allow 1-night minimum here. Might scare you, but it's the revenue, the profit is all in these Monday to Wednesday, Monday to Thursday days. The weekends are easy. That's just covering your costs. The weekdays is where you make your profit. So I would do that. What was my main point? Oh, reviews. Getting reviews as quickly as possible. So let's say you've got a 2-day. Of course, I'm not even logged in. That's why I can't even see the pricing. So let's say these places are priced at $150 a night. Even if I get a stay for $110 or $100, I am getting an opportunity to get a review, which helps momentum, which helps the entire thing flow. So the way that I think about it is like, if your property is a $300 a weekend night property, right? Like that's the value that you've set. That's what the guest is paid, $300 a night. If you offer up the same property at $100 on that Monday night, for example, they're getting arguably a $300 valued property at a third of the cost. So that value in the rating, they're likely going to rate that higher. You're likely going to get higher ratings because you have a very expensive, a quality property priced at a very affordable nightly rate. So, once again, getting reviews, even if it's cheaper stays, is absolutely crucial. So photos, there's a decent amount here in photos that I want to kind of talk about, and then we'll kind of get through the rest. And I think if you just kind of execute on half of these, like you will be astounded with how much results you'll be able to get. So let me kind of let me zoom out. So photos, here's a hero photo, the first photo, most important one. Make sure that is like the best thing that your property has to offer. It's usually not a bedroom. It's usually like an amenity, a view, or something else that is not normal. Every property has bedrooms. Every property has a living room, has a kitchen. Now it's pimped out, like different thing. So kind of high level view here. So we've got a living room here. We've got, looks like a fire pit here. We've got the dining room here, bedroom here, hot tub here. This is pretty freaking optimized. Great job, Hope. I hope pun intended. I hope you're watching some of my videos about optimizing these first 5 photos. They should be 5 different photos, 5 different rooms. Sorry, 5 different rooms, and making sure your best one is your hero photo, your number one. So I do like this photo. I think this is pretty sick. Like, you got the high ceilings, you got the elk up here. You got a TV. You can kind of see the views from the window. Like, this is really setting the stage. You got the fire pit, the fireplace. I would probably split test maybe this hot tub photo. This hot tub photo is pretty sick. And this also fire pit photo here as well. I would split test those, run it for about a week, and see if you got more bookings with one photo versus the other. This is a cool cabin. You got the big A-frame. I'm going to kind of speed through some of these photos. I do really like the game aspects here with sleeping, 10, potentially 12 people. You're going to need something to do, especially in Asheville. I don't know where this is located at, but as we kind of breeze through here, this is probably a pretty cool room. Same thing here. I typically like to have more than one shot of each bedroom, like kind of angled out so people can connect the dots. Because I don't really know like what's in this room right here, or like if there's an attached bathroom in this bedroom. So like this one, this is great. This has got 2 angles. You got one like facing the beds, and then flipping the room on its other side, where it's like, oh, okay, this is a loft. Whereas if I only had this photo on the right, you wouldn't know that was a loft. Versus like if you only had the left one, you wouldn't be able to kind of conceptually look at the property. So as we kind of get through fire pit, hot tub photo, I do like the drone photos. You do have some drone photos. I really like this photo. I think a lot of guests are curious, like what the outdoor photos look like. This is really cool. You got a swing, got the flag. You do have some drone photos. Like this one is really cool. Let me zoom in a little bit so people can see it. That's pretty badass. And then this is probably a really cool area that you've got staged. This one, it did make it in the top 5. This looks maybe like a iPhone photo, but I would like to have a drone photo of this, like a little lower. I think this looks like a drone photo. You can kind of see the house, maybe like a couple different angles here. But once again, I think these are pretty good photos. Like this photo is freaking sweet. I would probably split test this one like right now. Maybe making that one the first one. Definitely in the winter. So you've got like you've got you've got winter photos and then summer photos, making sure you're flip flopping those depending on the amenities that you're going to use in those seasons. So like a snow photo here would be really sweet in the winter, just so guests can kind of get what it looks like in the winter. Like this outdoor, this one in this with snow everywhere would be freaking sweet. I thought I saw one. No, I think that was on the third property that we're going to look at. So that's kind of photos. Let me make sure. Yeah, multi-seasonal photos. Um, this is just me being a picky. Is like it looks like all these photos were done in the fall, which fall is huge in Asheville and a lot of markets. Like I really like these, but having like summer photos where everything's green, winter photos where everything's like snow and white, just to get people different perspectives of these in the seasons. So minimum nights, it's kind of hard to see the minimum nights on some of these, but I'll kind of breeze through some of these. The listing description was solid. You got plenty of detail. Some rules in here. I really like that. Wouldn't change much there. Got 71 amenities. Great job. Looks like you've done your homework there. Some minimum says I would probably loosen up during the week. And then some of these were like, it looks like we've got in June checkout only. You might have some like unique rules here it looks like the 28th is booked, but if it's only for one night, like that's too far out to allow a one-nighter. Like I would probably have that string of night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3-night minimum, just so you're protecting your weekends and making the most money. But overall, June's probably looks like maybe 60% booked so far. Great job there. Let's peep at, got a week here in July. Here's kind of where we're getting to foliage season, which is big. Yeah. All right. So, I'd have to do a full dive on the minimum night stays here. But if you have any questions on this specific one, let's go ahead and jump over to Mike. So Mike, appreciate you you putting your property here. I want to kind of go through it here. Mike, was that not in Asheville? Oh, Banner Elk. Okay. Sorry, I said Asheville earlier. This one is in Asheville. So Mike's property here. Just kind of recap. It's been a little bit. Yeah. So photos. Originally, what I was talking about with Hope's photos is you've got this looks like a new build. You got new decking, new concrete. Like this is probably a pretty updated house. I like it. But I think the opportunity is, do you notice a pattern here? You've got 3 out of the 5 photos of the same room, which is the living room, which is probably one of the nicer areas. You got the indoor fireplace, but you've got just 3 different angles of the same room. I like to diversify and kind of use different perspectives of this. I do like this hero photo. Maybe a little bit more color somewhere, maybe like a pillow here, maybe a different rug, something on the table, maybe some fun wallpaper on the wall, just to kind of catch the eye, maybe red. But those photos, cool little spot. A lot of like local breweries, love it. Kitchens, new, crispy. So you got a dining room here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6 seats. This sleeps, 7 guests. So that's okay. I typically like to have at least enough seating for everybody so they don't eat in shifts, but I think you're pretty close here. Bedrooms. Yeah, looks like you got multiple photos, multiple angles of each room, which is great. Kind of gives the guest a different perspective of all that. So good job there. Yeah, updated bathroom. Maybe this is this is a new house, very white and new and fresh, which I love. Maybe mixing in some pops of color. Like this room, you got that reddish rug, but like this one is big bare walls. Just kind of get lost. Maybe some pops of color in there, but I'm sure this house is beautiful in person. All right. Oh, beef up the description. So let me kind of go back here. So this is a cool photo here. I like the drone photos. This might be one of my first ones if I'm looking at this place. Maybe getting it in the summer when the grass is fully green. But this is a sick photo. You can tell like, oh, 3 stories. So if you're traveling with like groups, you can be like, oh, okay, I can get away from their group and go upstairs because everybody wants some free time. You got a solo stove here. Maybe getting some like legit Adirondack chairs versus lawn chairs. I know they are expensive, but they're definitely worth it. Some string lights. Actually, I don't know why I didn't write that earlier. Some string lights here. Take a dusk photo would be really helpful. Beefing up the description. So kind of past the photos here. Great reviews. Rockstar so far, 9 reviews. The description was I thought it was a little short, especially with like, you've got a decent amount. I love the bulleted list. Love some emojis here. You got a decent amount about the space, but then it gets more into like the location, which maybe this is a great location. I'm not exactly sure. But you've got a decent amount about like some rules, the access, things like that. I would want a little bit more, maybe like double the amount of things at the property, like the solo stove, like is firewood included, is it not, like all those questions that people are going to ask from the photos. I think you probably have some amenities here as well that you are you haven't checked off all of them. Usually like 60 to 80 amenities is like fully optimized from the amenity side. So probably visit those. The one thing, so guest favorite, freaking sick here. That's awesome. But the last review was in March. So this is at the recording. We're almost in June. So it's been a decent while since we've had a review here. This is similar to what we had at Hope's property, was like getting reviews as quickly as possible. The review velocity. It's review velocity. Look, very tongue twister. But this is getting reviews as quickly as possible, even if it's a cheaper stay. So same thing as Hope. If you're offering, it looks like the calendar is fairly open here. Maybe because of new listing, maybe pricing's a little too high, but yeah, we're actually wide open. We've got maybe a 1-night stay here. Did I put? Yeah. So get reviews, even if it's a cheap stay. 2-night minimum's too far out. So what I mean by that is you can, like this is probably maybe a 1 or 2 night stay. You got to check out only here. So it looks like maybe Friday, Saturday. Yeah, maybe a 2-nighter here. But so 2-nighter here is, I'd have to look at the market dashboard, but 2 nights on the weekend it's a little too lax, I think, especially actually absolutely on July 4th, 2-night minimum. This should probably be a 3-night minimum, maybe even bordering 4 on a lot of these weekends. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking, maybe you're thinking as well. It's like, but the calendar is open. So it's probably not a minimum night stay problem. It's probably a pricing problem. Usually it's one or the other. So there's usually work in different. So like if you're at, let's see simple math, $500 a night, but you're allowing 1-nighters or 2-nighters on the weekend, you're at, $1,000 in revenue, versus if you drop that to $250 a night and allow 3-night minimum, you're at, God, what was my 500 to 250 is too cheap. It would be like 400 a night and you allow a 3-night minimum. So you went from 500 a night to 400 a night, but you went from a 2-night minimum to a 3-night minimum. You're going from potential $1,000 for 2 nights versus $1,200 in revenue for 3 nights. So yes, your ADR is lower, your occupancy is going to be higher, but your overall revenue is the main indicator, which is going to be higher, 20% higher actually. So usually those work in difference. So if you have super high nightly rates, you can be lower on the minimum, but I've seen the lower average nightly rate, higher minimum night stays to shield the bad reservations equals higher revenue. So what I would do here is essentially toy with those. I would probably come down on some of the pricing. Let's see what July 4th, 859. Let's see what like a normal weekend looks like. So, July 4th is not much more expensive than the other ones. Yeah, July 4th should be a decent chunk higher than the other days. Let's spot check something in June. Once again, I wish I had Price Labs linked up. Yeah, 680. Yeah, this is a pricing issue. Seems like pricing is probably way too high for a property that sleeps 760. Yeah, that's what's going on here. I don't know what this property should book at, maybe like $400 a night, but 780 it's probably a decent amount high. As you can see from the calendar, it's just wide open. Guests are smart. They will shop around. All right, beef up description, 2 night minimum. So that's all for Mike. I appreciate you you jumping on and letting me audit this live. All right, property number 3. Once again, if you have we got a decent amount of people watching. If you got questions, drop them down below. I will answer them at the end. All right, property number 3. I'm probably going to butcher your name. Is it Svetlana? Actually, I think that is potentially accurate. Svetlana said, please audit mine. We had okay. So this is, let me drag this over. This is a interesting market. I know this one pretty well because we had, I think, 4 properties up here that did like 120 a piece. They were just single family homes, like 4 bed single family homes that did like 120. It was ridiculous. I'm like, where's Albrightsville? It's surprised it's close to the to Poconos. But this is a very dense, very competitive market. So making sure your pricing minimum stays and listing is super, super dialed in. So on this one, I kind of ran out of time prepping on this one, but overall, my original first question, usually it's like, what is this? I originally thought this was the house. And then I went here and I was like, oh wait, this is a community. Yep. So Lake Harmony, it's on the lake, but this is access to the pool community. So I bet just on the fact that you have this first bad, like sick photo here, you're probably getting a ton of views, but not a lot of bookings. I bet if you were to look at the Airbnb conversion stats, your first page and your first page click-through rate is high, but your overall conversion rate is going to be lower just because I don't want to say it's misleading, but people, when they see this, they expect the property itself to have this amenity on site, not like a community thing or something else. I see it often with like apartment complexes and things like that. I get it from the host perspective. You want to advertise what you have access to. Like, this is a sick amenity. It's just guests, especially in a market like this, guests are going to shop around and they're going to make sure it is exactly what you see. So a couple of things here. I mean, immediately, this has the photo tour, which I'm not a huge fan of. Complete separate video on how to turn off the photo tour and to really optimize this. But I think the photos they're a little dark, and it seems like they might have been taken in multiple times. Like a couple of these photos are like bright, cheery, but some of them, specifically like that one, is a pretty dark photo. So I'm fine with like multiple rounds of photos. I do really like this, where you show exactly what you offer. It helps the guest and also like helps your cleaners whenever they check the listing, when they're at the property, like, oh, okay, this is exactly what it should look like. This is a really good example right here. You've got this photo that's probably maybe taken later in the day, maybe on an iPhone. And then this one right here is like, it's a staged kitchen. I wish the blinds were open here. You've got kind of that like warm feel. You've got like super staged. These 3 photos right here are sick. This one right here, I wish you'd kind of combine them and open the blinds here just so people can see like, where is this at? Is this looking at the mountain range? Is this overlooking the deck? Like this one kind of just feels kind of closed off. So wish I could combine those. Same thing here. You got multiple angles and multiple rooms. This looks like maybe a wide angle photo, but this looks like maybe a professional photo. So place looks solid. I do like these. Got a couple lofts. Photos not bad whatsoever. You got multiple angles, which is great. You got kind of a moody photo here with the coffee mug. I love these like stage photos. That's sick. You got the tree down in the background. That's funny. Hair dryer. Yeah, more of that kind of moody. This is big. I like that you stage this. Maybe even having like a little Apple thing here. This is a huge opportunity. Albrightsville, Pennsylvania is a very cold market. Same thing, having seasonal photos. I would probably, once it turns winter, actually, I take that back. I think they already did that. This is a big thing in the summer for properties. You got the kind of stage in this. I love the string lights, love the hammock here. You got a decent amount of seating. And then this is kind of the community. This right here, when I saw this, I was like, let me zoom in here. This photo is just freaking sick. This is what I was talking about with the seasonal photos in hopes, is like, if you can get summer photos, fall photos, and winter photos, and obviously that's, $200 a pop, $250 a pop. But it is like, this would probably be my hero photo, the first one, in the winter. Like, bar none, this thing is freaking sick. It gives you a great perspective, like what this property looks like. Looks like there is some string lights out here. Yeah, this is sick. When I saw that, I was like, yes. Same thing here. This is, more of a stage photo. You got the fire actually going. We've thought about doing like lifestyle photos where we're hiring actors to kind of come in here and stay, and you're like doing s'mores and taking photos there. We haven't pulled the trigger on it yet, but something we've looked at. And then you've got kind of these photos. So this is a fairly good. I don't love this one because you're going to have to click into it anyways. I like to have like actual photos. Like I like that photo. It's all right. These photos are solid. You got 3 different rooms. I'd probably maybe replace that one. But I do like this here. So you got 4 bedrooms, 7 guests, 7 beds, and 12 guests. 12 guests here, probably needed. I do think over time you're going to maybe upset some guests with only having 2 baths for 12 guests. Like, imagine if you're one of 12 and you've only got 2 bathrooms, you're overstepping some boundaries for that. If it was 3.5, like I think, here, like you can definitely go up here. You got 3.5 baths that unlocks kind of that 12, maybe even more. But I'd probably start with 12. So something to think about here. It's a season listing. We got 37 reviews, solid 4.86. So good job there. Let's see what the description is. I didn't get here. Okay, great. You got breakdowns, emojis, you got the house rules, guest access, what's included, what's not. Community pool, love that. Yeah, so description, this is dialed. Really nothing to do there. Good work there. Got the rooms tagged correctly. 83, that's awesome. Like I mentioned earlier, like 60 to 80 some is optimized, so good job there. Oh, nice. You got some ADA stuff too. So that's sick. Let's look at some of the pricing. All right. So one night men right here, 500 a day out. Maybe a little too high. 2-night men. Okay. 1,000 for 2 nights. It's probably a little aggressive, I think. I know this market fairly well. We the properties that I'm managing up there are like 92% booked. This is, oh man, we got July 4th and that's it. Yeah, this is another pricing problem. Let's just see what a weekday here is. 840. September foliage. Let's look at maybe a weekday here somewhere. 1,000. Yeah, I think this is probably a little overpriced. A lot of this is not a this is a very common thing. This is probably the number one thing that I see hosts do is being overpriced and underoccupied, which in turn you make less revenue. It sounds so stupid, but the example I mentioned earlier is like, let's say you have a $500 a night property and you got a 2 night minimum. You're going to book those at maybe book them at $1,000 in revenue versus if you've got a $400 a night and a 3 night minimum. So you're less aggressive on the ADR, more aggressive on the minimum night stay. That will equal $1,200 versus $1,000. So you're increasing revenue by 20%. Hopefully my math is right there. But here it's just, if you're like, I mean, you're like, this is wide open. Something's gotta change here, and it doesn't look like the minimum. We got 3 night minimum. That's good. I don't. Still seems a little overpriced. Do we ever go to 4? What's June? June was 2, right? Yeah, June was 2. Okay, so we a month out. All right, we go from 2 to 3. Actually, might not be bad, but I think the actual nights themselves are a little overpriced. We did a decent amount of 4 night stays at my all Brightsville properties. So, all right, so that's but I mean, guest favorite, solid reviews. You've got one in April, so a decent amount away. I would probably same strategy, just get some momentum back at the listing. But I mean, a lot going right here. Pet friendly, hot tub, fire pit, Lake Harmony. That's a pretty solid title. Yeah, I think that's, just curious. Where is this? Yeah. Okay. Yep. I know where that's at. All right, sweet. So I don't see any questions down below. I appreciate everybody for still rocking with me. Hopefully that was valuable. If you want your listing audited for free, just shoot me a message on Instagram, follow on Facebook. Like, get in touch with me somehow, and I'll, if I get some solid feedback, I'll do this more often. Hopefully it was valuable for you. All right, peace. Love y'all.